I just bought a new house. My kid is obsessed with the crawl space. Buying a new house is never easy, especially in the modern market. Regardless, I had to move due to my job transferring me to their offices in another city, and so I had to sell my old home and move myself and my son, Ryan, a few states over. We took a weekend to visit the city so I could tour a few homes that looked promising, and that's when I first visited our current house. It was a nice little 2-story with a big yard, perfect for a 10-year-old kid who loved to run around and play. It was during the house tour that we first found out about the crawl space. The real estate agent was letting me know some key details about the house, and Ryan was clearly not happy about being dragged along for something like this. As we finished talking, the real estate agent seemed to notice this and leaned down to address Ryan directly. "Hey kiddo, this must be pretty boring for you, huh?" Ryan nodded. "I was gonna save this for last, but do you want to see something cool?" Ryan nodded again. I gave the realtor a worried look, but he just smiled and gestured for us to follow. We followed him upstairs to the guest bedroom, which I was planning on converting into Ryan's if we went ahead with the purchase. It also gave me peace of mind since the guest bedroom and the master were right next to each other. The realtor went to the closet and opened the double doors for us to see inside. Nothing seemed weird until he reached down and pressed hard against a section of the wall. The panel sunk into the wall and rolled aside, revealing a small hollow space built between the 2 bedrooms. "No way," Ryan said. He bent down and stuck his head inside the hollow space. "What is this?" I asked the realtor. "Well, this home was custom built, see," he said, "and the guy had this kid who wanted a fort or something. You know how kids are. Well, a treehouse was out of the options since nothing good for that grows around here. So the guy had this idea to build a little hidey hole for his kid. I call it the crawl space." "Well, isn't this a bit of a safety hazard?" I said. "What if Ryan got stuck in there?" "Not to worry, ma'am," the realtor said. He knelt down to talk to Ryan. "Hey buddy, can you get in there and try to shut the door for me?" Ryan obliged. He crawled into the hollow and tried to push the panel, but couldn't get it to budge. "The panel can only be opened or closed from the outside," the realtor said. He gestured for Ryan to come out, and once he was out of the crawl space, the realtor pushed a different section of wall and the panel slid back into place. "See?" he said. "Plus, the crawl space is right up against the master bedroom, so if this guy gets up to any mischief in there, you'll be able to hear him clear as day." "Mom, can we get this house, please?" Ryan begged, tugging on my arm. "I'm gonna have to think about it, Ryan," I said. "This is a big decision for Mommy." We finished up the house tour and left to visit a few others before heading back to our hometown. For the next few days, Ryan went on and on about how cool the crawl space was and all the ideas he had for what he could do with it. I had my concerns about it and decided to check a few other listings before making a decision. However, as time went on, the crawl space house was looking like a better and better option. It was pretty cheap for its size, was by a lot of great schools, and it would mean I only had a 20-minute commute. When I told Ryan I'd decided to buy the house, he practically jumped for joy. Moving in took a while, but once we were settled, we took a weekend to decorate the crawl space for Ryan's enjoyment. I put up some fairy lights inside and he moved in a bunch of his books for him to read, along with setting down an old blanket to make things comfortable. Once we were done, it was honestly pretty charming. I could see why Ryan had wanted it so bad. But then again, what kind of kid doesn't want a secret space all to themselves? Things were pretty great for the first week. Ryan was adjusting well to his new school and even told me he made a friend by the name of Evan. I was excited to see him take to his new surroundings. It'd been my main concern about moving. Things were going well at my new job too. It was the same company, so all the systems and stuff were the same, and my coworkers were all really nice. The second week was the same as the first, but things began to be strange the second weekend we spent in the house. It was a late Saturday afternoon. I was laying in bed watching something on Netflix. Ryan was playing in his room. I just got done with an episode of my show and paused it so I could go downstairs and grab a snack. That's when I heard something. "Yeah," Ryan's quiet voice said. "School's been going all right." I paused. It seemed as if Ryan was inside the crawl space, but who was he talking to? He didn't have a phone and mine